Chelsea, your biggest winners over in the Premier League as they move into the top four as Manchester United and Leicester all drop points. But it's the same old with Manchester City who keep on bloody winning. Right, folks, back once again with another prediction show. Today we're taking a look at match number 28 out in the Premier League, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, where the heck have you been, boys? Smash your subscribe and keep banging today with all things Blabbing Rovers related, Premier League related, whoa, football related. We got it all here, boys, on our Wolverooski. That's right, boys and girls. Come on, especially subscribe. Keep it going. We're trying to get up to 19,000 subscribers. We still got a bit to do. Anyway, boys and girls, of course, Liverpool keep on bloody fluffing their lines at home. And of course, Manchester United could not break down big old Roy Hodgson and his crystal powers as he grinded out the big old draw there. And of course, them six freakazoids pulled the plug on, of course, Leicester's ambitious title ambitions, of course, with a draw as well. We'll take a look at all that in a minute. Big shout out, of course, to the patrons. You know who you are, the VIP Band of Brothers. Thank you for supporting the channel behind the scenes. I do appreciate that. If anyone else wants to join these 25 lovely specimens, check out the link down below, patreon.com/Roverseas. So here we go. Here we bloody well go. Take a look at the Premier League. Just a mini fixture list this past week. 7 games, of course, with some upsets, perhaps. In fact, actually quite a bit of upsets. Kicking on off with, of course, City against Wolves. Business as usual, of course, for City. Leonardo Dondonak with a big fat OG. Gabriel Jesus with a couple of goals there. Riyad Mahrez as well with a 4-1 win. Conor Cody made it a little bit interesting, but unfortunately the goals started trickling on in the final 10 minutes as they broke them down. 2-0 for me, 4-1 final score. The Freaks got themselves a 1-1 draw, of course, over Leicester. Matavidra with a banger, of course, but Kelchi Chinasha with also a screamer as well. 1-1 in the end, 2-1 for me. Of course, I wasn't backing them, boys. Meanwhile, Sheffield United got themselves a win, of course, over Aston Villa. David McGoldrick on the score sheet. Jagielka got himself sent off. Actually, on the 2-0 win for Villa. Shame on me. Clueless. I am clueless. Meanwhile, Palace drew with Manchester United 0-0. Actually, with a 3-1 win for United, but shame on them. They couldn't do it. Of course, Everton got the win over West Brom. Rick Carlson in the end actually was being bold. I went for the Allardyce effect, but unfortunately, it's a bagger shy at the Allardyce effect. Next up, of course, Liverpool got beat as well by Chelsea. And usually, them top 6 games end up with nothing. It was a 1-1 win, of course. Mason Mount with a banger. A really good goal as well to cement the 3 points. And of course, Fulham, they lost as well with a big fat cheeky own goal. Ex-Rover. On the score sheet, Tontamana Rabayo, of course, putting the ball in the back of his own net. 1-0, just got 2. Let's not to look at that. Come on, change bloody slide. Change the bloody slide. I don't want to look at that anymore. Let's have a look at, of course, the table as it stands. Is this right? Is this bloody right? I think it is. Manchester City, of course, a 14-point cushion over Manchester United. It's theirs to lose. Of course, they'll be locking heads. They could trim that lead, of course, back down to 11 with a win. If Man United were to be victorious, of course, Leicester City also in contention. Well, not in contention. They're in 3rd. Of course, Chelsea biggest moves up to 4th. Everton in 5th. West Ham and Liverpool outside, but sneaking on in. Spurs also making a move as well. Sheffield United, West Brom and Fulham going down as it stands. But guess what? Win for Fulham in the next game. And the likes of Brighton and Birmingham could get sucked into it. Oh, yes. Especially Newcastle with that negative goal difference. So, interesting. Of course, Sheffield United closing in on, of course, they've actually won more games than, of course, West Brom and Fulham. Or leveled as much as Fulham. But again, they're pulling the woodwork. They're grinding out the results. Let's take a look at, of course, your picks then, shall we? Not to 2 in the ship face game. 3 to 4 straight face. 5 plus. You're in top bins. Russell Frost, you did good, brother. You did good. Of course, Game of Charlie also did very well. Of course, Aidan Guy did shite. Aston Villa still did good. Arsenal B did poop. Elagaskin also did good. Jojo did fabulous, of course, well done. Of course, Hans Worst also did very well. Gilly Van Veen did good. Cool name. Nathan Evan also did very well. Of course, Kuriho also did great. Ahmed Sochi also did very well. Of course, Yao for VMPB. I've seen you a little bit there. I added 2 points onto you on the next one, so it's all updated. You did good as well. As for Ricardo W, did bits. Mr. Matt Russell also did good. Ollie Hambling not too shabby because Magic Monday did poop. Yako Jackson also did very well. Archie McWashington with the coolest name in town. You did good. Ivan String also did good. Last 1, 2, 3, not too bad. Matt Gunner did bits. Okay, did okay. Roberto Hoss also did good. James BCFC, yeah, great. You did great. Of course, Alex Well also did good. Costas K, he's okay. Tom Stainer, well done to you, brother. Of course, Jaden Egan, you did shite. At least 2021, not too sure because Mamura, well done. Of course, Zaid Amero also did very well. Jacob Nungare, he's okay. Liquid Gajanovic also did good. Yannick Buster did bits. Shinadon, not too shabby. You did shite, actually. Absolute shite. Vincent Hung with an edit. You know, it's a dubious edit, with of course top bins as well. Omar Esquivel, you did shite. A. Judy also did good. Mark Chapman, we'll get to you in a minute. Alan MC, you did shite. And of course, Mark Chapman, you did shite as well. Wow. Let's take a look at, of course, the leaderboard. If your name's Adrian KZ1, don't just give up for today. Vincent Ung, though, kicking ass and taking aims with a 5 out of 7. And then, of course, Cody Coe, Jelly Van Veen, Jokke Jakobsen, Mr. Mampus, okay. Russell Frost, and of course, Tam Stainer kicking ass and taking aims in the second spot. But what about the overall leaderboard? Well. We might have an outright leader here. Of course, we do. Yeah, for VMPP. What did he get this week? He got himself, I don't even see him. I did remember reading his name out, but of course, biggest mover, Ahmed Sochi. What about you? I don't even see you. There you are. You got 3. Shane O'Donnell. What about Vinny Hong? Where did Vinny Hong feature? He's up to 4th. Look at that. Kay going in on him. Kay closing in on him. Indeed. But of course, we got a whole bunch of matches to take a swing at this week to see what we can do. Of course, there are 11 matches, of course, with the Brucey bonus at the end. Manchester City and Southampton in double action, of course. And we'll take a look at all of them right here, right now. Kick it all off with, of course, the Freaks up against, of course, Burnley. No, the Freaks are Burnley, of course, taking on Arsenal at Turdmore last round. At Turdmore was an 0-0 draw back in February 2020. Of course, the pleasure of this season down at London was a 1-0 win for Burnley. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang with a big fat OG and Rannick Xhaka got himself sent off. What a shit show that was back in December, of course. Burnley, though, drawing the last 4 home matches heading into this. They come into this, though, Arsenal just 1 defeat the past 5. The 1 defeat was against Manchester City. Meanwhile, without a 1 win in the past 6 for Burnley. That was against Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. Look at the bookies odds on this one then, shall we? Of course, Burnley 90-4 for the victory, 3-1 is your draw, 5-3 on is your Gunners on this one. Of course, Arsenal coming into this, they're all the way down into 10th, but for them, they could actually go as high as 9th. Burnley are down into 15th, and for them, they could go up to 14th in the end. Got over 2-0 for Arsenal on this one, hopefully to bloody keep their dream alive and put Burnley in a bit of trouble. Next up, we have the Saints. They keep on marching in, taking, of course, Southampton, played each other the last 6, 2 for Sheffield United, 3 for Southampton, 1 draw last round. At Bramall Lane was a 1-0 win for Southampton back in, of course, September 2019. Musa did Jepo on the score sheet. Good player. I really liked him the other day in the game. I don't know who he was playing. I can't remember. It was a good match, and I thought he was a very, very quality left back. But Billy Sharp got himself sent off. They also played the down St Mary's back in December, of course, 3-0 win for Southampton. Che Adams, Stuart Armstrong, Nathan Redmond on the score sheet. Southampton have actually lost 8 of the last 9 matches in the Premier League, failing to score 5 of the last 6. Southampton have also won the last 3 matches against Sheffield United as well. They come into this without a win in 4, of course, 3 defeats and a draw to boot. Meanwhile, 2 wins the past 5 games as Sheffield United believing again. One of those games was, of course, the FA Cup. Look at the bookies odds on this one, the shall we? 30-5 for Sheffield United, 21-20 is your Southampton, 12-5 is your draw. Of course, Southampton are down to 14th, but a win for them, they could close it in on 13th. Sheffield United down to 20th, and of course, a win for them, they could actually go as high as 19th. And I've got them winning this one, 2-1 win over the Saints. I believe in them. I believe in Sheffield United. I think right now I do believe that they've got more hope than West Brom of staying up. There's a bit more fight in there. Of course, West Brom are a bit shitty, aren't they? Even though they've been grinding out the results. Anyway, of course, next up, of course, Aston Villa take, of course, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Played on the last 6, 3 wins apiece, no draws. Last round at Villa Park was a 1-0 win for Wolves, of course, back in June 2020. Leander Dendonok on the right net this time around. I also played this season at Molineux was a 1-0 win for Villa this time. Back in December, of course, the one and only goal scorer was Angel El Hazi with a big fat penalty. Douglas Luiz and Gian Martino got himself sent off in a bit of an explosive fun 10 minutes, give or take, to that match. Heading into this, though, what do we have on this one? Just 1 defeat the past 4 games for Wolves. That was against Manchester City. Meanwhile, just 1 win the past 4 games for Villa. That was against Leeds at Ellen Road. Look at the Boogies odds on this one then, shall we? Coming at you, of course, on to of Saturday. 11-8 for Villa. 23-10 is your 2-1 is your, of course, Molineux boys. That is, of course, Wolves. Wolves coming at you into 12 for win for them. They could actually go above Arsenal to 10th. As for Villa, they're in 9th. The win for them, they could actually go as high as 8th in the table. I've gone with the Villa on this one with a 2-0 win, following up from a defeat last round. To move the bloody chains. Next up, we've got Brighton up against Leicester, who need a result. Back-to-back games without a win. Taking on Brighton, of course, the last 6, nothing for Brighton, 4 for Leicester, 2 draws. Last round at the Amex was a 2-0 win for Leicester back in, of course, November 2019. That's Jose Perez and squishy Jimmy Vardy as well. They also played at the King Power Stadium in this season in the Premier League. 3-0 win for Leicester. The goal scorers on that day. Madison with a couple of goals there, Jimmy Vardy as well. They also played in the FA Cup a couple of weeks back. Kachi Ichinachi with a 94th minute winner. Heading into this, Leicester keeping clean sheet in the 6 of the last 8 matches against Brighton in all comps. They're also undefeated in the last 9 away. Whereas Brighton actually failed to win 16 out of 17 home matches heading into this. Without a win in 5, that's Brighton, of course, last time they won. That was against Liverpool at Anfield. Meanwhile, because everybody's done that, so 3 games without a win for Leicester, losing to Prague, losing to Arsenal, and, of course, only picking a draw against the Freakazoids. Heading into this then, shall we? Of course, Brighton 31-20 for the victory, 94 is your draw, 95 is your away win. Leicester coming to sit in 3rd, a win for them, they could go 2nd. Brighton all the way down to 16th, but a win for them, they could go 15th above Burnley in the end. I've gone with it, Leicester, on this one, to put Brighton in the old shit zone, or at least close to the shit zone. zone, depending on what goes on elsewhere. Meanwhile, the Baggies take, of course, Newcastle United must-win game here. Allardyce against his old club. I'm sure that did he manage Newcastle? I can't really remember now. I think he did, and it was to much gripiness. I just want to make sure I didn't dream this. I believe he did manage the tune. I swear I didn't. Nah, because I see it. I just saw it. I just bloody saw it. Yes, indeed. It was from Newcastle. He came to Rovers. That's right. I knew I didn't dream it. Anyway, these two sides knocking boots. Cheeky. The last 6 sees 2 wins for the Baggies, 3 for Newcastle, 1 draw last round at the Baggies. So the Hawthorns, of course, in the league, was back in the Premier League back in November 2017. Of course, 2-2 draw in the end. Robertson, Carnu, Sam Field on the score sheet, Sheeran Clark and Johnny Evans on the score sheet with the big for OG. Heading into this, they also played each other in, of course, the St James's Park. This is 2-1 win for Newcastle last round. Miguel Amaron, Dwight Gale on the score sheet against his old boys as well. Darnell Furlong as well on the score sheet with West Brom as they lost. Newcastle, though, losing the last 8 matches on the road. Heading into this, just 1 win the past 5 games. That 1 win was against Southampton. Meanwhile, just 1 defeat the past 4 for the Baggies. That was against Everton just the other day. Of course, Liverpool bookies odds on this one then, shall we? Of course, West Brom coming at you 7-5 with the victory. 2-1 is your tune. 9-4 is the draw. Of course, West Brom all the way down into, of course, 19th, but a win for them. They could go to 20 points and close in on 18th. As for Newcastle, they're in, of course, 17th spot, but a win for them with 26 points. They could go as high as 15th in the table. I think they could lose this one. I've gone with West Brom on this one to put them right in the shitter. Them and as well as Brighton, of course, and we could see a bit of movement, of course. Next up, of course, now we have Liverpool up against Fulham, a bit of a lifeline for the likes of Newcastle and Brighton. Anyway, but these two sides played each other last 6, 5 wins for Liverpool, nothing for Fulham, 1 draw last round, and Anfield was a 2-0 win for Liverpool back in November 2018. Mo Salah and Shaqiri on the score sheet, of course. They also played each other at Craven Cottage back in December, of course, 1-1 draw in the end. Bobby to go to Reed on the score sheet. Mohamed Salah with a big fat penalty as well. Fulham have actually drawn 6 of the last 7 away matches. They've also, Liverpool keeping a clean sheet in 8 of the last 9 home matches against Fulham in all comps. They've also lost the last 4 home matches, of course. 2 wins the past 4 games for Liverpool, beating Leipzig and beating Sheffield United. Of course, Fulham just 1 defeat the past 6, and 1 defeat was against Tottenham just the other day. Look at the bookies odds on this one, then, shall we? Of course, Liverpool 3-1 on for the victory, 17-4 is your draw, 8-1 is your Fulham. Fulham going to all the way down, and of course 18th, and win for them. They could actually go as high as 16th in the table. Of course, Liverpool down into, of course, 7th, but a win for them. They could go 5th in the league. They'll get the win 3-0 comfortably, and of course, stop Fulham's movement out of the bottom 3. Next up, we have the Battle of Manchester. It's City United, of course, played each other the last 6, 2 wins for City, 3 for United, 1 draw last round at the FEI. Was a 1-0 win for Manchester United. That was in the League Cup, of course, back in January 2020. They also played each other in the Premier League last season, I believe, and it was a 2-1 win for United as well. So realistically, the last 6 games at the Etihad, City have only beaten Manchester United the once. Wow, we were. However, they did play each other at Old Trafford earlier in the campaign. It was a 0-0 draw. So they also played each other in the Carabao Cup this season. It was a 2-0 win for City as well. So it is pretty tight, and it's not as easy as you think. But anyway, City have actually won their last 15 matches in the Premier League, whereas United are undefeated in the last 21 away matches. So they get something in the last 21 matches. However, there's been 3 draws on the spin for United. In fact, they haven't scored a goal in 3. Meanwhile, of course, City are phenomenal at the moment, winning all the games left, right, and centre. Of course, heading into this, City are actually 15-8 for the victory. They are stone cold favourites. 10-3 is draw, 5-1 is United. United coming in second. Win for them, they can close it in on first. Of course, a win for City in top spot. They could open up a whooping ass lead over the nearest and dearest. I've gone with on this one City with a 3-0 win. Embarrassing to Manchester United in the end. Spurs, though, taking, of course, Crystal Palace. Played the last 6, 3 for Spurs, 1 for Palace, 2 draws last round at the London, the Tottenham's Fancy Pass Stadium. Of course, 4-0 win for Spurs. Son Heung-min with a couple of goals there. Eric Lamela as well. Patrick Van Aanholt with an own goal. That was back in September 2019. They also played each other this season in Selhurst Park. It was a 1-1 draw back in December. Harry Kane and Jeffrey Schlupp on the score sheet as all were split right down the middle. Of course, Spurs keeping a clean sheet in 7 last 8 home matches against Crystal Palace. They've also won the last 4 home matches against Palace as well. They come into this just 1 defeat the past 5. That 1 defeat was against West Ham, beating the likes of Wolfsburg twice, Burnley, and of course Fulham as well. 3 games without conceding a goal as well. They're back, boys. They're bloody well back. So Palace unbeaten the last 3, picking up a win and 2 draws to boot. Look at the bookies odds on this one. Then shall we? Of course, Spurs coming at you 20-9 on. They are your stone cold favourites. 7-2 is your draw. 6-1 is, of course, your Palace. Palace coming into in 13th and win for them. They could go 10th. As for Spurs, they're in 8th and win for them. They could go as high as 6th, and maybe on the coattails of of course, the top four. They'll get the win 2-0 over Palace in the end. Mourinho's back and he wants to be in the party. Oh yes, Mourinho's back. Chelsea take, of course, Everton, of course, last 6. 1 for Chelsea, 3 for Everton, 2 draws last round. At Stamford Bridge was a 4-0 win for Everton back in, of course, March 2020. Pre-lockdown, I think. Mason Mount, Pedro, Willian and Giroud on the score sheet. However, they also played at Goodison Park. This season was a 1-0 win back in December, 12th for the 12th. Of course, Gylfi Sigurdsson on the score sheet from the penalty, giving Everton the 3 points. Meanwhile, Chelsea keep a clean sheet in the last 4 home matches. Everton actually won 6 of the last 7 away matches, though. And Everton also keep a clean sheet in the last 3. They come into this, 3 wins on spin, beating the likes of Liverpool, beating Southampton, beating West Brom without conceding a goal. As for Chelsea, they've also come into the last 3 also without conceding a goal. Of course, beating the likes of Atletico, drawing with United, and also beating Liverpool. Look at the odds on this one, then, shall we? Tough one, this one, 20-11 on. Chelsea are your favourites, 3-1 is draw. 11-2 is your Everton. Everton coming at you, of course, in 5th. A win for them, they could go 4th. Chelsea are actually in 4th, and a win for them, they could go as high as 3rd in the table. Chelsea winning this 2-0, clean sheet to boot. West Ham taking, of course, Leeds United. Plays on the last 6, 1 for West Ham, 2 for Leeds, 3 draws last round. Down in London was a 2-2 draw back in, of course, the Championship back in August 2011. Carlton Cole on score sheet, Patrick Knobno with a bag for OG. Ross McCormack and Adam Clayton on score sheet for Leeds. They also played at Ellen Road back in, of course, December, of course, 2-1 win for the Hammers. Suchek and Bongo on the score sheet with, and of course, Matthias Klitsch on the score sheet for Leeds. Heading into this, though, West Ham, just 2 wins in the past 5 games, beating the likes of Sheffield and, of course, Spurs. They did lose to West Ham, Manchester City the other day. Meanwhile, just 1 win in the past 4 games for Leeds. That was against Southampton, losing to the likes of Villa, Wolves, and, of course, Arsenal. Let's look at the bookies odds on this one then, shall we? Of course, Leeds will be 5-2 for the victory, 220 is your West Ham. They are your favourites, 30-5 is the draw. As for the situation at the table, Leeds are in 11th. The win for them, they could go as high as 10th. West Ham are 6th. The win for them, they could go as high as 4th. That's Champions League, boys. That's Champions League. Gone with the 2-1 for West Ham to keep the dream alive. And then wrap it up the Brucey bonus that we Manchester City taking, of course, Southampton. Southampton losing their first game against Sheffield United. Of course, City beating United comfortably as well. Plays of the last 6, 5 for City, 1 for Southampton, no draws. Last round at the Etihad was a 2-1 win for Manchester City back in November 2019. Aguero, Kyle Walker on the score sheet. James Ward-Prowse giving Southampton the lead. However, they also played each other at St Mary's back in December. It was a 1-0 win for City. Heading into those, City have actually won the last 15 matches in the Premier League. Also, Southampton have actually lost 8 of the last 9 matches in the Premier League and failed to score in 5 of the last 6 away matches in this one. Of course, 1 win in the past 5 games for Southampton. That was against Wolves back in, of course, in February. Of course, 5 wins. It goes on and on and on. City are winning a bunch. The bookies odds 5-1 on for City, at 6-1 is your 10-1 is your Southampton. Southampton coming to this in 14th to win for them. In fact, they win both of those games this week, they could go as high as 11th. Whereas City, if they win both of those games, they could open up a 20-point lead at the top of the table. And I'm not lying, that's what could happen. That's what I think will happen. My show, I've gone with a 3-0 win for City in the end. And so if I'm right, which I bloody hope so, this is what the table will look like at the end of it. Look at that. Look at it. It is Manchester City with, of course, a whopping near 20-point lead. They have a 20-point lead over, of course, Manchester United, but they have a whatever lead over Leicester, who is 2nd. Chelsea up to 4th. West Ham up to 5th. Sheffield United, West Brom, and Fulham going down. No change there. But guess what? A win for Fulham in the next. And of course, the likes of Brighton and Newcastle could get sucked into it. And maybe just then Burnley bad boys could get sucked into it as well. I hope so. But anyway, that's what I think will happen this week. Be sure to get your picks in nice and early. We'll do it all again very, very soon. Of course, the prediction league is heating up. If you're new, you're probably not going to win this one, but you could just get a reputation for yourself as we gear up for next season. Until then, though, be sure to give the video some love and smash the old thumbs up, smash the old subscribe. We'll do it all again very, very soon. Check out the links down below. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, and I'm on Patreon if you want to become the latest brother of another mother. Check that out. Until then, though, be safe out there. Mask up. Get your picks in. I'll see you all very, very soon. And a goal, hopefully your team wins, unless you're Burnley, and of course, unless you're Millwall. Yeah, that's right. Get them bastards done. Anyway, until then, I'll see you all soon. Ciao for now.